Smith-Schuster took his recruitment of LeBron James to another level with this tweet. Hashtag LeBron to Pittsburgh, retweet if you're with it. And just when you thought he was done, he created LeBron as a Madden player on the Steelers. Wait, someone go on and see how many times it's been retweeted.
What?
I thought he was going to college. Don't they have books to read?
You're right. He was supposed to be going back to college. Oh, what? Look, Juju is taking this a little far, man.
I think that him and a bunch of other people are consumed with LeBron James.
And what is the...
Juju's not a true receiver, though. You know the reason why? Because if he was, he would have put LeBron on defense. Because there's no real receiver trying to put a great athlete on offense. He's got him in the video game catching the ball. There's only one ball. We already got Martavius. He's not happy. Al Bell's not happy. Yeah. We know Antonio. He can't do his thing. He can't do his thing unless he got the ball. And Juju, the reason why we know about him is because he got the ball.
What do you think Jesse James thinks of this? Because LeBron's taking his spot, right?
Jesse James can get lost. He might be able to play this year because they're going to change the rule because he fell down. Not like his great-great-grandpa, Jesse James.
Different, no relation.
Oh, man, Jesse James.
No relation. Outlaw Robert.
Juju, read a book, man.
Time for some stories to start your morning. Baker Mayfield is starting to set up visits with a few teams. He'll visit the Browns, Jets, Giants in the coming weeks. Cece, what does Mayfield need to do in order to succeed as an NFL quarterback?
What you need to know is the Browns, the Giants, and the Jets. Like, you can't invite yourself to these organizations. They got 30 invites before the draft. You can only invite a select number of players, so when they invite you, it's down to the guys they're really interested in drafting because the fewest number of players to be there, so you know that the intel, they're going to ask him about the off-the-field issues. They're going to ask him, they're going to get him on the board, break down the X's and O's. Can this offense that he ran in college, does it transfer over to what they're trying to do? And also from a culture standpoint, can his personality blend into what they have in that organization? And is this guy the face of our franchise?
The one thing, though, because you like Baker a lot as a player, the one thing you think he has to improve on to succeed in the NFL is what, based on what you've seen from him in college?
He's got to make better decisions inside the pocket and just be consistent. He's a shorter guy, so a lot of times when guys are shorter, they panic and they try to buy time. It's all right to buy time. When you're a big guy, when you're a small guy, get rid of the football. He used to be able to get away from people like Johnny Manziel.
Yep.
These guys start catching up to you, so just be more alert in the pocket, make your reads, and get rid of the ball as quick as possible, which I believe is an easier adjustment for young quarterbacks.
All right, moving on. The Warriors are a half game back of the Rockets in the West, but Draymond Green doesn't seem too concerned. Green said about the Warriors, quote, "We're not going to spend the rest of our year trying to fight for the #1 seed." Nick, you buying these comments from Draymond?
Well, I don't really understand exactly what he's saying here. I get that.
Would that be the first time you didn't understand what
Draymond's saying? I understand that they're saying they're not going to rush Steph back just to stay within shouting distance of the Rockets. I mean, they're only a half game back, but they can't fall to the 3 seed. They got 12 more wins than Portland, so they don't care about the 1 seed. You start resting guys. You give guys a week off here and there. Like, I mean, give me, obviously, the only thing that matters for you the rest of the regular season is getting the 1 seed and staying healthy. But as we've learned, as we saw last night, there's no way to guarantee health. So you might as well go try to get the 1 seed because they have never had to, forget a Game 7 on the road, they've never had to start a series on the road, which is what would happen if you're playing the higher seed. They've never had to do that in this iteration of the team, so I do think the 1 seed matters for them.
Right. Listen to the coach. The coach said 2 weeks ago he needs this team fully engaged. They need to be more intense. So they're looking at this last third of the season as a push to get better as a team. So, yes, they're keeping score. You're trying to win games. You're trying to get home court advantage. Now, I do believe that there is a psyche to this, an advantage, that if you don't publicly say we're trying to get the #1 seed and you don't get it, then publicly, the public can't come back and be like, well, now what do you do? Because you guys had a disappointing regular season. Be like, no, we're the #2 seed. We had a great regular season. Houston just had a better one.
By the way, Draymond triple-double last night. The Warriors are now in his career 22-0 when he has a triple-double.
Celtics beat the T-Wolves 117-109 last night. Kyrie Irving had 23 points as Boston clinched a playoff spot. There was a scary moment, though, as Jaylen Brown left the game after landing very hard following a dunk. He was okay, came up with a headache, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Injury aside, CC, what's the ceiling for this Boston Celtics team?
I think the Eastern Conference Final. If you look at where they are now, I think they're the third best team and can be upset if they have a bad series or they have an injury. I don't believe they're better than the Cavs. Don't believe they're better than Toronto. So if they were to get to the finals and their season ended on the finals, in Eastern Conference Finals, after starting the first day of the season with Gordon Hayward being injured, I would call that, Nick, a successful season.
Yeah, listen, what they can't have happen is lose in the first round. Right now, they're the 2 seed. The 6th seed is Philadelphia. The 8th seed is Milwaukee. If they get matched up with either one of those teams, which they wouldn't in a 2-7 matchup, but obviously it's fluid, they could lose that series. That would be a big, I don't want to say be a disaster, but that would be a big disappointment for a team that started 22-4. What's their ceiling? Their ceiling is whatever round they play the Cavs. I do not believe this team can beat the Cavs in a 7-game series. Right now, they'd be playing the Cavs in the second round, so that means the second round's their ceiling. If they climb to the 1 line, then their ceiling would be the Eastern Conference Finals, because they wouldn't play the Cavs till then. I think their ceiling is whenever they play LeBron's team, but as CC mentioned, if we'd have said that after Game 1, when Gordon Hayward shatters his leg, that with 16 games to go, you're going to have the 4th best record in the entire NBA, they would have signed up for that.
All right. Finally, good performance out of Tiger Woods yesterday. Love saying that sentence. He finished 1 under par. It's only 3 strokes back of the leader. One thing to note, Tiger banged his club against a tree on 16. He appeared to have hurt his forearm. He did downplay the injury, though. All right, let's turn to our golf experts, Chris Carter. Chris, what did you think of Tiger's performance opening round of the Valspar Championship?
Tiger is in a situation where he's added several more tournaments to his schedule. Typically, you don't know about Tiger's schedule. He's very, very kind of strategic of how he's going to play. So these tournaments, it's not a tournament he's played in a long, long time. This swing, as far as where they are in Florida, is not typically him participating, but it lets you know that he realized that he can play more golf and that his body can take it. So he's been practicing a lot more. In these tournaments, it's very important that he's able to make the cut, because if you're able to make the cut, you're granted an extra 2 rounds of golf, which I believe driving the ball under pressure, which is not one of his strong suits, never has been one of his strong suits. He's driving it a little bit better. So he's able to get to the green. Right now, what is he doing phenomenal? There's 2 things. He's making a lot of birdies. He's second in the tournament yesterday with 5 birdies. And in putting, he is one of the greatest, if not the greatest putter ever, and probably the most clutch putter of all time. He's putting on that level again. So he gets his ball striking back. I love his iron play. I love that he is able to be in contention, to get the blood flowing and stay away from those big numbers. Double bogeys, that's what he was able to do yesterday. So Tiger Woods, I won't be surprised in the next 2 months on a Monday that we're talking about Tiger Woods back in the winner's circle.
Might be this Monday. I got some late breaking news for you, CC. Tiger's already teed off today. Tiger has played 5 holes. On those 5 holes, he is 2 under. So he is at 3 under for the tournament. The leaders are at 4 under, so he is 1 off the lead. He also just birdied one of the holes that he bogeyed yesterday on the back 9. So Tiger starting this round off well to be in contention. We saw him in his most recent tournament fight for a top 10, but the leaders were so far out ahead.
He was fighting for a top 25 to get into the top 10.
Exactly.
Now he could be in the top 5 or 10 trying to fight to either win it or stay in that.
You mentioned how many birdies already. Like I said, 2 birdies today, so that gives him 7 for the tournament to go against just 4 bogeys. And as you said, one of the things that got him in his last tournament was 3 separate times, I believe it was 3 separate times, certainly 2 separate times, he had a double bogey. He's avoided those big numbers. And so, listen, I'm excited for it. For me, golf lives and exists as Tiger exists. When Tiger is Tiger, which he hasn't been in a long time, golf is one of my favorite sports to watch. When Tiger's not in contention, it's not important to me. So I hope he keeps this.
And this is a fun time. These aren't the tournaments that we're used to seeing Tiger play in, some of the smaller ones, but now you get a chance to do that. It's good that he's coming back and not just coming back to play in the big ones, but he does want to really work on his game, and we're blessed by getting to watch it every week.
Getting that back fused was a risk.
Yes.
If it doesn't work, his career's over.
Yes.
It would appear, I don't want to jinx anything, not that I believe in jinxes, but it would appear that surgery is taken, and you are seeing a healthy Tiger Woods for the first time in years. It's so exciting.
Let's move on to the NFL. Earlier this offseason, the Rams snatched Marcus Peters from the Chiefs. Note the verb used there. Now they've snatched Aqib Talib from the Broncos in exchange for a 5th-round pick. Another use of the